Happy Saturday, Las Vegas. It's the host of the Welcome Home with Monique show, Monique Buchanan, and I hope you're off to an amazing weekend this beautiful Saturday. I don't know about you, but I know it's not, cool or anything, but I'm glad these temperatures are coming down just a bit. Listen, I have a great show for you today. And listen, I'm going to start off with like a public announcement. I went through something kind of strange over the weekend, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to talk to my listeners and, give them a heads up on this. So you guys already know there's a lot of these scamming phone calls that are happening, right? So I get a phone call last weekend on Saturday, and you guys all know that I just bought a home. So I have a new home, and it just so happens the gentleman on the other line, he tells me that he's from, the police department. I think he said he was a sergeant or something like that. And he works, no, that's what it was. He works for the courthouse. He didn't say what courthouse. He said, yeah, I work down at the courthouse. He sounded really official. He even gave me like a license or badge number, right? And he's telling me that I was due to come to jury duty. And I'm like, what? I was supposed to go to jury duty? And he goes, yes. He gives me my address, my previous address, that is. And says, yeah, you were mailed this jury duty summons and you were supposed to show up, but the judge is going to show a little lenience on you because you didn't show up. And now that you say that, and he went through this whole spiel asking me all these questions about, why I didn't show up and all these things. And I told him, well, if you did mail something there, I definitely didn't get it as I've sold the property. Well, then we'll go ahead and show you some lenience and grace, but you're going to have to come down here and you're going to have to do this, and that. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, it's Saturday. I know that government officials, no matter where they're from, do not call you and threaten you with, you better not drive anywhere until you come down here and then have somebody else drive you because if you get pulled over, you could go to jail. I'm like, what? So I am just warning you guys. So I kind of shut him down. Luckily, of course I caught on and was like, wait a minute, today's Saturday. And number two, this is crazy. Nobody from, the court's office is going to call you and threaten you that you didn't show up to jury duty and now they're going to, have a warrant, and they're going to arrest you if you get, like, that was just, it was crazy. But the gentleman was pretty believable. So God forbid, you know what I mean? If you weren't savvy, you would maybe fall for that, right? So just a heads up, everybody. So just be aware of the scammers out there. Tell them, hey, give me your website. Make sure that it has a .org behind it. Or give me your email address and make sure that that has a .gov or something. You know what I mean? Because they can't mask that. At least I hope not. So there's that. Another thing, there's a program that Nevada Power is running that I actually wasn't aware of. I just became aware of it. I wanted to wait until I used it myself, which I just did. They will come into any property, I believe even businesses. So my entrepreneurs, listen up. This is good news for you too. And my homeowners, of course, any property, they will come in and update your thermostats to the new fancy, smart thermostats. So you can be out of pocket zero. We all like that, right? So they'll come in and give you the smart thermostats, the Echo Bees. They'll also check your home, your filters, your lights. They even will update your lighting to LED. Up to 10 bulbs. So if you know anything about LED lighting, they're pricey. They're, $3-4 a piece in many cases. So they last for 15 years. But what they're doing is they're trying to save you money for your power bill. You guys know I all believe in solar. Like, I love solar. That's me. My bill every year, or every month, I should say, with a pool is only $118. So I love my solar, but I still do have power from MV Energy. In the case that I need it from them, I can pull from them. So they still will come out, even if you have solar, and do this for you. They'll check your attic, see how many inches of insulation you have up there, and give you a recommendation of if you need to go up on your insulation as well. So MV Energy does have that service for you. It will save you a ton of money on your electric bill. And, I'm always trying to look out for you guys and just find anything that can save us a little money because, honey, it's hot out there. And I don't know about you, but I don't like my clients calling me saying that they got $500 and $600 power bills. So there you go. It's totally free. He left me with 2 brand new, once again, thermostats for free. He changed out light bulbs. He changed my filters. I mean, this man was all over my house and it was completely free. He gave me over $400 worth of, equipment. Not to mention, If you're on a low income status, they also have programs that will swap out those old appliances that you have. Okay, so even if you don't have low income, because they do have programs that he said a lot of people are just not aware of, they will take those old white appliances, or maybe you got Big Mama's Maytag still in there, honey. They will swap it out for you, and in many cases, it will be free. Now we'll go ahead and jump into the show. I want to congratulate my new clients. I've got quite a few new clients approved that are buyers going out there in the market. We just went into escrow today on a beautiful home in Mountain's Edge. We got that property for $425, and guess what? I got her $10,000 from the seller to pay her closing costs. You guys, this is happening all day long right now. Will it last? No, it won't. I'm sure you guys have heard the news that, the feds are talking about lowering those rates. Hello. September is when they're saying they're going to, do their first, cut. So I think that it's just going to be snowballing from there. Now, some of you are saying, oh, great, I've been waiting for these rates to lower. And you're thinking, oh, wonderful, it's going to be lower rates. I'm going to have a lower mortgage. But did you ever think that when the rates go down low, guess what happens? All of you that you've been sitting on your hands waiting for the rates to go down low, you flood the market. And when you flood the market, because that's exactly what's going to happen, a whole lot of people are going to jump in. That drives the prices up. Because I'm going to advise my seller, hey, the rates are low. We're going to probably get 20 offers on this property, right? So let's get more money in my seller's pocket. Because at the end of the day, when I represent my seller, it's a nightmare for you. Because at the end of the day, I am laser focused on putting as much money in my seller's pocket as possible. When I represent the buyer, I am laser focused on saving him as much or her as much money as possible. But once again, so that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a flood of the market in buyers. And the prices are going to go up because when rates go down, prices go up. You're going to have to fight for your house, and you're more than likely going to be fighting against somebody that, was waiting for the rates to come down. So they sold their house. So now they're walking around with $200,000 in their pocket. And if you didn't sell a house, maybe you don't have $200,000 to fight this person for when your wife is looking at you like, hey, that's the house I want. We got to get it. And now you got to go up against, Mr. Smith and his wife over here, but they have $200,000. So hear me when I say it is time for you to purchase now. When everybody else is sitting on their hands, it is time for you to purchase. This is when me as your realtor, me and my team are able to negotiate you, hey, a great deal off the price of the property, or get money out of the seller's pocket and put into your pocket towards your closing cost. Okay, so this is when we're able to do these things. Will I be able to say, Mr. Seller, give my client, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 when the market, there's 20 people behind us that want to buy his house? No, he's going to say, no, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and go with the guy right behind you that's not asking for a penny because he just sold his house and has $200,000 in the bank. All right, so if you're interested in listing your property or if you're thinking of purchasing, I would love to assist you. Once again, my name is Monique Buchanan. I can assist you in all 50 states. My brokerage actually has people all over the United States, as well as we are in 24 countries. So I have helped clients move to Panama. I've helped them move to Colombia. So there is nowhere on God's green earth, pretty much, that I can't help you if it's real estate. Okay? So keep that in mind. My name is Monique Buchanan. My phone number is 702-984-3700, 702-984-3700. Welcome Home with Monique is my website. And you guys can catch me on YouTube. Welcome Home with Monique. It's right there. You can just Google it. I'll pop right up. Okay, so let's just jump back in this. If you're thinking of purchasing a home, but you're saying, well, Monique, I don't have the down payment. Or Monique, I put my name on my daughter's house, back in the day. And so now I'm not a first-time home buyer. Well, I've got great news for you. Yes, you are a first-time home buyer. Any of you that are out there renting right now, and you've been renting for at least 3 years, and you currently have your name on no other homes, you're considered a first-time home buyer. So great news for you. I have programs that will pay your down payment the entire down payment and some of your closing costs. And remember, you've got me on your team. So I'm going to go get the rest of that closing cost from the seller. Right now, I have the ability to negotiate. So that's why I'm telling you, if you're listening and you've been sitting on your hands and you're listening to your coworkers tell you, oh, the rates are high, the rates are high. I'm telling you right now, we can always refinance the house, And you don't have to take my word for it. You heard the news. Once again, they've reiterated that we will be dropping these rates. 702-984-3700. 702-984-3700. So once again, guys, I'm here to assist. I have down payment assistance programs. I even have programs that will lower your rate right now without even doing a down payment assistance program. Okay, so we have options for you. I have access to one of the vice presidents of Guaranteed Rate. You guys have heard him come on my show many a times. He is at the top of his game. And you want somebody like that when it comes to lending, because let me tell you, there's thousands of lenders, just like there are realtors, right? Not all of them do it full time. Some of them do it part time. Some of them have sold one house in 20 years. So that's why I tell you guys, don't ever ask a realtor, oh, how long have you been doing this? No, that's not what you want to ask them, because many people have had their license for years, but they're not doing anything with it. Okay? They're selling 1 or 2 or 3 houses a year. So therefore, they don't really know exactly what's going on in the market, because it changes so often that if you even take 2 weeks off and not sell a house, you don't know what's really going on, right? So just keep that in mind. You want somebody, especially now, that knows what's going on, that has boots, on the ground every day. I have been doing this for over 8 years full time out the gate. So let me tell you, I'm out there. I know exactly where the market's at all times. Me and my team will not let you lose some money because we didn't know what was going on in the market. And that's unfortunately what can happen, guys. If I'm representing a seller, but I haven't sold a home in 4 months, but the last time I sold the home, it was a buyer's market. So I'm assuming when I sell the home this time, it's still a buyer's market. Well, now I've told my seller to give up money that he probably shouldn't have given up. Or I've told him to bend when he shouldn't have bent. But I'm doing what I think is best, but at the same time, I just don't know what the market is. Therefore, I'm costing my seller thousands of dollars. That is how imperative it is to have somebody that's out there every day, full time, knows what they're doing. And that's why me and my team are here to help you. Monique Buchanan, again, 702-984-3700. I am your real estate agent, not only here in Las Vegas, but in all 50 states and in 24 countries I can assist. So once again, guys, you are a first-time home buyer if you have not purchased in the last 3 years. You only need a 620 credit score to utilize one of the down payment assistance programs that I have. If you are a veteran, you only need a 580 credit score to purchase a home. Use your DD-214. That is owed to you. And I get some of my veterans that say, well, Monique, I've thought about using it, but what if I get deployed? Well, guess what? Use it. If you get deployed, we can sell the property or we can create residual income for you by renting out the property. If you sell the property, now you could take, whatever that is, whether it be $100,000, $200,000, on with you to wherever your next stop is. And now you're going to go down to Georgia or wherever you're going and have that money to buy a big, beautiful home down there. So you're not losing, but you are losing when you don't use your DD-214. There's so many veterans out there, unfortunately, that have never, ever taken advantage of that. You create wealth for your family when you take advantage of that, okay? You guys have some of the lowest rates that are out there, so you're not even in the same boat as everybody else when it comes to rates. Keep that in mind. As a veteran, we want to honor you. And so therefore, we only ask that you have a 580 credit score. And if you need help getting it there, that's what Anthony is there for. We're here to guide you, give you a roadmap. We understand that you don't know what you don't know. That's why I'm here for all your questions. Whether you just want to pick up the phone and ask me a quick question, Monique, what about this? What about that? That's what me and my team are here for. We're here to guide you. So Anthony, like I said, he's vice president of Guaranteed Rate, which is one of the top lenders in the entire country when it comes to mortgages. And another thing, guys, do not give up if you have talked to another lender or especially a bank and they denied you or they told you your debt to income was too high or they said, oh, you got student loans and we can't help you. You guys, please, please, please do not give up. It is a 5-minute conversation with my lender, Anthony Valentino. If he tells you, for one, he won't tell you no. He's going to tell you, hey, not right now, but here's what I want you to do, and we'll get this thing done, right? That's what he's going to tell you. But remember, every single lender or lending institution has different guidelines. It has been my experience that banks are extremely strict, right? They're very conservative. They don't bend too much. So if you've had a bank tell you or a credit union tell you, hey, we're not able to approve you, don't take that as the gospel. That's all I'm asking. I don't want you to give up on your homeownership dreams, because you shouldn't. Because I've had so many clients in the past that gave up. Well, Monique, I was told no by my bank. They said, my debt to income was too high, or, I had over $100,000 in student loans. So, they couldn't approve me. Well, that's them. Okay. So once again, you guys, my name is Monique Buchanan, host of the Welcome Home with Monique show. The whole goal with this show is just to enlighten my community, help you guys realize that homeownership is not that hard. A lot of people think that it's unobtainable, but it actually is. And I'm here to help guide you and provide the resources you need for you or your loved ones, your family and friends to get into homes. And I have been blessed enough to say I have helped over hundreds of people since I started my career. Hundreds of people that thought they could not become homeowners are now sitting on a whole lot of equity. And that's a huge thing. So I've got a lot of renters that say, right now you're renting and you're thinking, once again, you hear the water cooler talk about the rates. Well, guess what, Mr. Renter? You're paying 100% right now as a rate because you're making nothing on your rental. You are paying somebody's mortgage. Why not let it be yours for you and your family? Why are you making some other person wealth? Why? Because at the end of the day, you're paying a mortgage. It might just not be your own mortgage, and that's a shame. So that's what I want to let you know. Right now, you're paying 100% rate, and we don't want that. So I was thinking the other day, and something came across my thought pattern. I said, you know what? As a renter, I had to beg for my $2,500 security deposit back. I had to walk through the whole house with video and take pictures of everything, because you know how they are. They try to come for you. They try to not give you back your security deposit because there was one little stain. You know what I'm talking about. And I am so glad to say I had a client call me and said, thank you, Monique. We just sold his house a couple months ago. And he said, I was just thinking, this is what made me think about it. He said, I was just thinking, I'm walking out of that house when you just sold it for me. I walked away with around $150,000. And he said, it's so true what you say about your security deposit. So now he decided to buy a bigger, badder house. And so now him and his family is in a much bigger, nicer home. And he says, I just wish I would have done this so much sooner, like so much, earlier. He's like, I love the house I'm in that we got now, but had I did this 10 years prior, imagine the home that I would actually be in, because I would have just kept going up and up and up, taking the equity from the house that you sold and then putting that on a bigger house and a bigger house and a bigger house as you continue to make money on each one of your properties, right? So if you think about it, I thought about my own situation. So every single year that I lived in my home, when I did the math, I basically made about $30,000 per year in equity on my home, right? And then I did the math on my $1,500 payment that I was paying I walked away with after, basically I was living for free when you think about it, because every month every year I was making $25,000, but at the or $30,000, but at the $1,500 a month, I think I only paid in $18,000 for the whole year. So look at that. Look at the money I made. It's like I didn't even pay to live in my home versus a renter. They don't see any of that money back. So that's why I'm just drilling this into you guys. You stop paying somebody else's mortgage. And by the way, Nevada has no rent cap, none at all. So they can continue to raise your rents as they see fit. We're not California. We're not Washington State. We have zero rent cap. And so until, they address that issue here in Nevada, you are playing Russian roulette by being a renter. All right. Because, they can go up $500 if they so choose. And let me tell you, since COVID happened, they've also raised the credit requirements. Now it's really extremely hard to get a rental property unless you have a 640 credit score. So if you need a 640 credit score to get a rental, right, they're going to run your credit and do all of that. And you need, first, last, and deposit and all that. Realize you could be purchasing with the same steps you're taking to be a renter. If you can rent a house, you could become a homeowner. You need 2 years on any job. I don't care if you change jobs, that's fine. 2 years on any job. 620 credit score if you want to use my down payment assistance program, where you don't put any money down and then we get the closing costs paid through the seller and the program. All right? So you could be out of your pocket if you use the down payment assistance program, right? And I get the funds from the seller, you could get into the home with as little as $2,000 out of your pocket. Of course, it's depending on how big a house you want. But yes, you heard me right. This is happening all day long for my clients. So just remember that, you guys, there's a way to get you into homes. You don't have to rent. All right. So even if you're thinking of moving, don't worry about it. Purchase a home, create residual income for yourself. You can rent that bad boy out and go ahead and move, or we can sell it and you can walk away with some, equity. So there's those options for you. So once again, this is Monique Buchanan, the host of the Welcome Home with Monique show. And I'm just trying to enlighten you all on how you can become homeowners. Okay. Now, if you are a seller, you've been thinking about selling your property, you definitely want to think about that and go ahead and make a move on that as well. Right now, we are in a shortage of homes in the Las Vegas Valley. There are very few properties to choose from. I went through this myself when I was looking for my own home. My list that I was looking for was I wanted over 3,000 square feet, single story, 3-car garage, RV parking, and God forbid, if you want a pool, oh my goodness, but I just happened to be blessed and get a pool. But if I would have clicked pool, oh, good googly woogly. So when you do it without a pool, and for me, I was looking in the Northwest area, Centennial Hills. I was looking in the Summerlin area, and I was looking in the North area, all that area. So we're talking Aliante, we're talking Centennial Hills, Sky Canyon, and we're talking all of Summerlin. All of that. When I put that criteria in, I came up with a whopping 30 homes. That's it. In the entire area. 30 homes that fit that for sale. Oh, by the way, I was looking at 800,000 or less. So, I'm just trying to show you, we have a very little. Now, if I would have clicked pool, that 30 would have went down to probably about 7 or 8 houses. And that's just crazy, right? So that's what I'm trying to get you to see, is that we have a very, very limited supply of properties out there for sale right now. But that's why this is wonderful for my sellers. It is wonderful for my sellers. Now you're saying, but wait a minute, Monique, you just told me you got $10,000 for one of your buyers in closing costs. Yes, I did. You know why? Because I was representing the buyer and I know how to negotiate. Now, let's flip that. When I'm representing the seller, it's awesome that I know all these programs and know lending inside and out, because I'm able to help the buyer's agent on the other side structure their offer for my seller to where he comes out of his pocket with as little as possible. So let's switch it around. Let's say that I was representing the purchase, I was representing the seller on this deal. And the buyer had a different realtor and she asked me for that $10,000. And now I'm representing my seller. I would have picked up the phone, had a conversation with the buyer's agent and said, hey, how are you? Nice to talk to you. Thank you for the offer. Now I see that you're asking for $10,000 closing cost. And they're going to say, yeah, the rates are higher. We want to buy down the rate. Okay, yeah, I understand that. So how about this? Let's do this, Mr. Buyer's agent. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and take that $10,000 and why don't we wrap that into your buyer's loan? Oh, what do you mean? How do you do that? Because a lot of these agents are part-time agents. They are not in the business. They don't understand how all this stuff works. They just, a lot of them just open doors, show the house, send the offer. But they don't get involved with the lending and understand how it all works. So in many cases, I have to educate the other agent on the other line that's representing the buyer and walk them through, hey, this is what you can do. You can get these funds, but not out of my seller's pocket. We can put these funds into your buyer's loan and let me show you how to do it. All right. So that's where it comes. That's where it's imperative to have a savvy agent that knows exactly how to represent her sellers and get the best for them. And also when she's representing her buyer, she knows how to get the best and negotiate the best for them. All right. So that's what I try to do. And I've been blessed enough to do it. I want to humbly say that I just reached a pivotal mark in my company. I hit what's called Icon. Icon status is very, very hard to hit in the company. Once again, there's 94,000 agents within my company. So I am at the top 5% in the entire world with my company. So, and I say that humbly because if you've ever heard me before talk about my testimony, God led me out of the casino business and put me into real estate. He told me I would be successful, but he told me that I had to serve his people. And so that's what I'm humbly and happily doing. So that's what I'm here for, guys. I'm here to help you, whether that be one of your family, friends, or yourself. I'm here to assist you when it comes to anything real estate. I can assist you, like I said, once again, 24 countries in all 50 states. So don't hesitate. I'll put you in the right hands and make sure that you're taken care of. So let me recap the show real quick because we're down to our last couple of minutes. I just want to remind all of you out there, I have access to the down payment assistance programs right now. And guess what? We can use some of those funds to buy down the rates. So do not be scared of the rates. I also have access for you if you don't want to use a down payment assistance program. That's fine. We don't have to. I have ways to buy down your rate. Okay? So if you're a veteran, please, please, please do not let that DD 214 go to waste. You know what I mean? Go ahead and get yourself a property because once again, at the end of the day, if you're renting, you're paying someone else's mortgage. That's what you're doing. You're creating wealth and equity for them and their family. So why not you? Why not you and your family? God forbid an emergency comes up. As a renter, we don't have, equity that we can tap into and pull out $100,000 to maybe save a loved one's life. But if you are a homeowner, you have an asset. You have equity. You have a way to get that money and possibly save even a loved one's life. So that's something to chew on. That's something that I thought about as a mother. God forbid. We've all seen, that movie with Denzel Washington. I think it was John Q. God forbid that. But I thought about that. He had inadequate insurance. But I thought to myself, if he was not a renter and if he was an owner, he wouldn't have had to do yard sales and GoFundMes. But at the end of the day, if he was a homeowner, he could have tapped into his equity and saved his little boy's life in that movie. His son had a heart condition and he needed $100,000 or more. But he had no assets and he had inadequate insurance. He was not able to save his son's life. So something to think about. I know it's a movie, but it's real life. It's real life. So once again, you guys, I am here to help. If you have been renting for 3 years or longer, you are considered a first-time home buyer. Many of you that have went bankrupt or claimed bankruptcy, that's okay. Many of those bankruptcies, we can, some of them day one after you've closed it, you can go ahead and buy a home. Some of them are a year, but I can guide you on that. And then again, if you're thinking about renting a property, I do have renter agents that can assist you. I do have renter agents, but you better believe we'll go ahead and assist you. But you better believe I'm going to keep you right in my book and be on you about buying a home that very next year. So there's your warning. We'll assist you with the rental. I do have some agents that will assist, but I will be on top of you to purchase. But if you've been thinking about renting a property, I say, hey, give my lender 5 minutes of your time. It will not hurt your credit. Let him give you a game plan. If he says not right now, he'll tell you what you need to do while you rent. All right? That doesn't hurt anybody. Can I do that? And then he might even say, guess what? You're approved. Monique and her team are going to take you out shopping. We're getting you into a home. And you would be amazed at how many times I get a phone call. I can't believe it, Monique. I'm approved. I didn't think I could be approved. Another thing, I want to say something. Student debt. Don't let that scare you away. Biden wiped away a lot of debt. I've had a couple clients recently didn't even know that their student debt was forgiven. One client had $70,000 worth of student debt. He spent 5 minutes with Anthony and found out that debt was no more. Now imagine how happy this man was. Oh, and by the way, he's approved and we just bought him a house in Pahrump. So listen, I love you guys. I hope to hear from you soon. I appreciate each and every one of you for all of your referrals. You guys have an amazing weekend. And until I hear from you, God bless.